Alright, so moving on to the next Patreon request, and this one comes from Julius. And Julius asked me to do another hero-villain mashup, and this one is between Deku from MHA and Syndrome. As always, I have to explain what hero-villain mashup is in case of any new subscribers, so let's get started. But before we do, as always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, where you guys can start sending me videos, video requests to do here on YouTube, once you hit the 3rd tier. Anyway, so let's get started with the video. So this story, basically what it is, not story, excuse me, I'm so used to doing stories. For those who don't know what hero-villain mashup is, hero-villain mashup, for any new subscribers, is that this is not so much a fight as it is what would it be like if this hero had this villain in their rogues gallery. So like I said, it's Deku and Syndrome from The Incredibles. So, anyway, so what would it? So it wouldn't be too. So Syndrome, kind of, when you think about it, really does fit into the themes of My Hero Academia. When you really get down to the nitty-gritty, it really does feel like Syndrome can fit into the world of My Hero Academia. Heroes are built up, and if you have quirks, you are like a celebrity. If you have a certain quirk that people like, then people will love you. If you don't, then, you know, if you're creepy or whatever, you don't have a quirk, then what's the point of you? Like, you don't even deserve to exist. Like, what even are you? Like, it's a very biased system that Syndrome himself would not be a fan of. In no way, shape, or form would Syndrome be a fan of this universe, because, like, he would see it as, like, if you don't have real power, then there's no real point to you. Then, like, why anything? Like, that would be his thing, is that it would be, like, a why anything kind of scenario. Like, I feel like that would be the real crux of it, wouldn't it? That he would be just kind of enraged by the very thought that, like, if you have powers, you're a celebrity. But only if you have certain powers, and if you don't, then what? You're nothing. So Syndrome, it also would be kind of like having Hero Killer Stain again, only less psychotic and more, like, psychotically brilliant. So I could see him, like, Syndrome singling out Deku on the grounds of, you represent, like, you are the embodiment of everything I hate. You are the but it's not too late for you to, like, see the light. But at the same time, like, I want you to see the light and then die, because I'm kind of an asshole like that. So I think Syndrome, like I said, would gun for Deku, because, like, he would see that, like, out of all of the other superheroes, all of the other pro heroes, he would be the one that would really, like, live to, like, have this thing of, you basically are, like, the embodiment of everything I stand against. You are more or less like, you give these people false hope because, you know, you're a hero and you were trained by All Might and all that, and you're all this and that. So I'm gonna make it my personal preference to come after you again and again and again to prove that you are nothing. And also, basic people don't have to be afraid of pro heroes or villains. Like, people with powers, like, they're not, like, they don't have to be afraid of you. They don't have to, like, worship you. I'm a guy with no powers and have all these cool gadgets. So, fuck you. And that's what I think the general crux of this rivalry would be. It would be that Syndrome would target Deku again and again, because he is if you take out Deku, then I guess the whole deck of cards of pro heroes and whatnot would collapse essentially. Would Syndrome still go after pro heroes? Absolutely. I really do think he would still go after, a multitude of pro heroes again and again and again. But yeah, I really do think that he would target Deku essentially, because, again, I think Syndrome would see that Deku is that embodiment of everything that the pro heroes are, and what superheroes in general stand for. So he would be after Deku again and again and again. And I also think he would, like, his original, like, his first few things of weaponry and gear, Deku could probably get through, but this is Syndrome we're talking about. The guy has a whole, like, criminal empire built around like building all this advanced tech to counter superheroes. And I'm pretty sure he would send the giant robot to attack Deku as well. Then when Deku inevitably destroys it, he'd build it again and keep rebuilding it until he found the right one to take out Deku. Same with all of his gear. So I do feel like that would be the main, it would be like Ahab and Moby Dick. That's how I kind of imagine this rivalry. So, there you go. Those are my few thoughts. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you think it would be like if Deku had Syndrome as one of his villains? How do you think it would turn out? How do you think it would play out? Just comment below, let me know. Once again, I'd like to thank Julius for this Patreon request. You guys tell me in the comments below what you guys thought of it. And once again, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon where you guys can hit the 3rd tier. That'll allow you access to do Patreon requests for me to do here on YouTube. And yeah, I feel like I've done a lot of hero... like, the last few times I've done, like, these Patreon requests, I've done a lot of hero-villain mashups. Kind of want that, like, toned down, because... but whatever. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so... Anyway. What was I gonna... Yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. See you next time in the Multiverse.